The Influencer's Edge is brought to you by the Rapid Sales Accelerator. If you're ready to skyrocket your sales by 30% or more in just 90 days, then you need to claim your free training right now. You'll learn 4 words that will compel your prospects to trust you like they were children within the first 3 to 5 minutes of any conversation across any platform and any medium. You'll learn how to give your prospects objection amnesia, to crush objections like, I need to talk to my spouse, or I need more time to think it over, or it's too expensive. If you'd like to claim your free training now, go to www.paulrossbook.com. Do it before your competition does it now. Welcome to the Influencer's Edge. This is the place where you come to get the latest breakthroughs, cutting-edge insights, tools, and techniques to leapfrog over the pack in sales, persuasion, and influence. Be sure you visit our website at www.theinfluencersedge.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, tune in, and enjoy today's episode. Welcome to the Influencer's Edge. I'm excited about today's episode because our guest has an accent. And you know I am with people with accents. She is from South Carolina, and her name, no, she's from Australia. And it is, I asked her, it's actually tomorrow in Australia. So I'm going to ask her what's in the headlines for tomorrow's news. That doesn't work.
That's a good idea. I could tell you the lotto numbers. Yes.
Yeah, you could. Well, the lotto numbers in the United States, I don't know. So I'm punch drunk. It's the end of my working day, the beginning of hers. My lovely guest is Lisa B. But what's your last name?
It's Brown.
Lisa Brown. Well, B is probably more, I don't know, intrigued.
There's a story. There's a story behind it. But anyway.
Let's hear it.
Oh, okay. So my maiden name was Lisa White. Then I got married and that was Lisa Brown. Then I got married again and I didn't want to have that last name. So then I went back to my first married name, right? So that I couldn't have that name though, could I? Because I couldn't stop that one and then go back, because this is my adult name. You know, Lisa Brown was who I was when I had my real estate offices. That was my professional name and all that sort of thing. Lisa White, I don't even know who that is. That was a kid from years ago, you know. So it's it was a dilemma. I was like, I don't know what name to have. So I just went, you know what, Lisa B, that's easy. That's now my name, never changing again. That's done.
Interesting factoid for those of you who know that I'm interested in factoids that are pure trivia, but Weiss is German for white. So you went from brown to white or white to brown.
No, it was white. It was white. W-H,
white.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, white. So white. Scottish white. Yes.
So let's dive in now that we've done that. So my guest today, Lisa B, has been in real estate for over 30 years. Wowie kazowie. And has had her own brokerages in multiple locations. Mm-hmm. She is a best-selling author 6 times. Whoa, push the pause button. Holy for Holians. I've written 2 books, but 6? That's amazing. So tell us, you have your books by, would you be troubled if I asked the name of your books? Maybe you can grab them off that neat display and shove them in the camera, whatever you feel comfortable doing.
The first one was a compilation book that somebody asked me to be in. That was Real Estate Millionaire. So that was sort of got me the bug to go in a book. And I saw the leverage, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is leveraging, which I love leveraging. And this is what I think people don't understand. I saw how I could leverage that book and I thought, this is amazing. So then I wanted to do that for other people as well. So, but before I did that, I brought out Secret Agents. So that's a book on, you've heard of multiple streams of inquiry, multiple streams of income. This is about multiple streams of inquiry. So real estate agents normally will focus on say, realestate.com, which is our real estate portal, or they'll focus on letterbox drops or whatever. So my book is all about prospecting sources that you can activate, that you get multiple streams of inquiry, you know, that you don't want to just get one, that you activate different prospecting sources. So that's that book. Then I did, realizing the leverage of having a book, I did 2 other compilation books actually, these aren't in the right order, but anyway, it doesn't matter. 2 other compilation books where I invited other agents to come into those books so that they could leverage those books, when they're going into listing presentations, they're a best-selling author and all that sort of thing. And then another book I did was when I spent a lot of time with Tony Robbins, years and years, probably 15 years of my life, volunteering, doing crewing, leadership, whatever. I did Platinum Partners. And it was in a time when he was really talking about masculine and feminine energy. And I was very, very masculine in my energy because I had my real estate office. I was, like very focused on everything, very driven. And Tony Robbins did an intervention on me in Namali in Fiji. And I reckon if I hadn't have had that, I would have had a heart attack by now.
Wow.
And honestly, because I was just so focused on work and goals and, whatever else. And so then I really sort of looked at that masculine and feminine energy. And so I wrote that book over 10 years, 10 years of every thought I had was going, oh, what was that? And asking different people. So it actually turned out a dating book, which I wasn't happy about. That's not what
A
the book.
dating book? What
Yeah,
do I know about that?
yeah, I know. I know. That's what's funny. We should
I
write a
have
book
to
together.
let me pause and tell the audience that before
Yeah.
we went on air, Lisa said, "I know you. I know your face." And you Googled me and found out that I was Ross Jeffries, the seduction guru.
Yes.
So you're a good detective. I'm sorry, I
Exactly. I knew
interrupted you.
it.
Please
I knew it.
continue.
So that was the book that it was supposed to just be about masculine and feminine energy, but the editor that I had kind of persuaded me to put it into a dating book, which I'm going to actually rewrite it and do it a little bit different. But it's all about polarity in relationships and things like that, and polarity
Now,
yeah.
I know the audience is going to want to know this. What's the giant guy with the glittering teeth and $1 billion in the bank account actually like? Did you actually talk to Tony,
Yeah.
shake his hand,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's, you know what? I put a lot of people up on pedestals when I was younger, and then they knocked themselves off for different reasons. So
always?
I was like, okay, I invested so much money and time and everything into Tony Robbins, and I wanted to see what he was like behind the scenes. So that's why I crewed. That's why I did leadership, so I could talk to the people that worked with him directly. I got to know his PA. I got to know all of that. And then I went, well, the next level of that's Platinum Partners. So it was like 50 people. It's not like it is now. Now there's hundreds of people, but we'd have 50 people. We'd go to Namali. We went to China. We had a seminar on the Great Wall of China. We had portaloos up on the up on the Great Wall of China, and we had a seminar in the turrets and all that sort of thing. It was amazing. We went to Prague. We went to the opera. We went to just some really cool things. It was the best year of my life. I traveled for 145 days one year.
Wow.
It was amazing. So no, I still put him up on a pedestal. I still listen to him all the time. To me, it's a blueprint for how your mind works. Like if ever I'm upset about something or things aren't going right, I'm like, okay, I've got references to go, okay, I know what it is. It's this or it's that, or you know what I mean? It's kind of gets me back into that
Yes.
right part. I
Well,
don't know how people
off the
survive
air,
it.
I'll tell you a personal story about Tony. I won't tell you on the air, but let's get back to
Okay.
you. So you mentioned, before I get back to the biography, you mentioned the word leverage multiple
Yeah.
times. I
Yes.
think I know what you mean, but
Mhm.
that doesn't mean bupkis. As we say in Yiddish, bupkis means goat shit. So goat dropping. So what does Lisa B, six-time best-selling author, former Tony Robbins acolyte, mean by leverage?
Okay. Well, I mean, you and I are leveraging right now. We're leveraging off each other right now. So, now my network knows you, your network will know me. So we're leveraging off each other. We're sort of, and it's a win-win-win, because anything, if somebody's listening to this and we help one person, that's a win for us. We've leveraged each other's networks, we tag each other in, all that sort of thing. So, a lot of agents, I think, just think small, not only about not sort of leveraging enough, but also thinking too small. And I don't blame them, because I did too. Like I used to think really small in just my demographic location. But some of the things I want to talk today about is leveraging in business, and you've got to be in the right vehicle to do it. And I mentioned to you that today what I wanted to talk about is the vehicle that I use, which is EXP Realty. And EXP is listed on the NASDAQ. There's 89,000 agents, huge in America. You would
They're
have seen.
everywhere. They're huge in
Yeah.
America. I see offices in San Diego. I actually gave a talk to one. They're everywhere.
Yes. Oh, fantastic. So, that's the vehicle that I want to talk about, only because not sort of giving EXP this great big plug, but just the power of being able to think big. And it was really funny as you your office messaged me and said, did I want to come on the podcast? I was writing down going, I want to talk to somebody about leveraging, and I want to talk to somebody about thinking big. And your email came in and I went, oh, okay, well, that's who I'm going to talk to about it, So, and obviously you think big, for what you've done, now and past life and all that sort of thing. And I knew that you would understand about it. So, so that's kind of what I want to talk about, is that. Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
I've been told, I think delusionally grandiose and bipolar, but thank you. I appreciate the
That's
compliment.
all right. That's
Please,
what I think.
let's I love it.
Yeah.
It's a match right here and now. So please, let's dive into leverage. Let me finish up on your biography, and then I'm already
Okay.
enjoying this.
Right.
Lisa is the creator of the Real Estate Club training program for real estate agents. You're a coach, trainer, loves showing realtors how to think massive in real estate. So let's get right down to it. You
All
talked
right.
about thinking big. In
Okay.
NLP, we would say this is a nominalization, meaning it's such a ill-defined term that everyone can have a million different meanings. It's very vague. What specifically do you mean by it? Question
Yes.
one. And question two, what are the major blocks you see in your clients that they have that keeps them from thinking big?
I think I actually don't know if it's a skill that everybody can have. I don't know. And this is why
Honest.
I want to give people ideas that hopefully they can. I did a speaker training years ago, and one of the things that this guy's was good at was telling people what their gift was. So you had to sort of write out a different questionnaire for everybody, whatever. And then he was saying, your gift to somebody is talking in front of like 20 people. Your gift is talking in front of 100 people. Your gift is big picture thinking. And that's what he said to me. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And he goes, you can get up on top of something and look down on it and see how it all works. And I'm like, doesn't everybody do that? And he's like, no. I'm like, really? And there were 20 people in the room. And I'm like, really? Went around, they're all like, nah, nah, nah. I'm like, wow. So I think it's something that not everybody kind of can see straight away. Like, if you said to me, I had to move the cup here, my job was to move the cup there, right? I'd have to go, well, what happens to it after then? I need to know the whole thing so I know that I'm moving the cup in the right place. You know what I mean? Whereas, you know what I mean? Like,
That's a
I
brilliant
need,
way to think. It's
I
a
need
brilliant,
to,
let me
yeah.
just compliment you. I don't want to interrupt, but it's a brilliant way to think. And I'm going to get really curious in a minute and ask you a question when you finish unpacking this one. So go ahead.
All right. Okay. All right. So things like real estate agents, particularly leveraging other people around you. So, think about, and this is an example I always say because I love it so much, and I've done it. For a real estate agent to leverage, think about from a marketing perspective as a vendor, where is your vendor before they come to you? So a seller's going to sell. Where are they before they come to you? So they might be at a conveyancer, a lawyer, a finance person, a landscaper doing the house up, whatever it is, feng shui expert, whatever it is, interior designer, any of those things, right? So collect those people and do a referral network between those people. Okay. So, let's all get in a room, the 15 of us, and say, okay, like kind of like a BNI. Okay, so in this local area, let's all refer business between each other. That's where, I think the gold is in there. That's leveraging.
That's genius.
You know,
Particularly, you probably saw my eyebrows and my flags going up when you said feng shui or feng shui.
feng shui.
Yes, I never, you know what? I'll tell you why, because they tend to be people with disposable income who hire those people. They already have a lovely home. And I have a family member who has a staff of astrologers, psychics, feng shui experts, and she owns some serious property, and she would not even dare to sell it or list it what to say had she not had the feng shui
I
person
did it.
come
I did it
in.
myself.
It's
Yeah, I
brilliant.
did.
It's a brilliant idea.
I loved it. I when I moved into my real estate office, I had a feng shui expert come in and sort of just make sure that everything was okay. I'm not superstitious, but then it's like I just want to make sure I cover all bases just in case. You know what I mean?
Back to deck.
But and then another thing is why should a seller list with you? Like, so for a real estate agent, and a client said that to me once. He said, why should I sell with you? Write out a list for me, all the things. So I was like, what a great question. So I wrote all the reasons why they should list with me. Then now, okay, if you're new in real estate and you don't have that experience, or you can't think of many things, think about what you can leverage from the people you work with, your team, your brand, right? It's not just about you. Think about leveraging other people, places, things, what can you add in there as a benefit to that person? So that's just a simple one. Then if I talk about EXP, right? So EXP, as I said, it's a huge global company. We have 5 different ways that you can create an income. There's lots of different amazing things. One of those things is that you can grow a team of people. People say MLM. It's not MLM. They reward us for bringing people into the company, and we take care of those people. So, it's sort of like you get a small little bit from the company when you introduce somebody into EXP, right? And the way we get paid looks like MLM, but it's not MLM. So that's sort of an incentive for agents to start to grow a team. Now, the way that you can use that, and in EXP, there's something called EXP Luxury, which this is leveraging a brand. So in EXP Luxury, you can actually list your properties on the Wall Street Journal, the Rob Report, Mansions Global, Upmarket, all of these amazing prestige sites, right? So for me, if I was a real estate agent and I was in EXP Luxury, I'd be putting that everywhere. I would be associating myself with those brands that are good quality, well-known brands. I would be leveraging that everywhere.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You
So
take the established brand, and rather than trying to build your brand to that size, which would be impossible, would take you 100 lifetimes,
you are
link
who you hang around with. You are who you hang around with, and associate. They've already built that credible brand. So if I'm brand new in real estate, I'd be like, I'm doing EXP Luxury. It's only $4,000 a year in EXP Australia. I would be grabbing that and going, okay, now I can put on my business cards as seen in the Wall Street Journal, as seen in the Rob Report. I can have that on my website flashing along. I can have it on my for sale signs out the front. Luxury sellers want also, luxury sellers, that have got a $3-4 million house, they would love it that they've got as seen in the Wall Street Journal, wouldn't they? This property as seen in the Wall Street Journal. Like it's the luxury websites. And I think they've even got Tiffany now. So leverage those many, many years of those prestige names and attach it to yourself. Yeah.
I hear you. I want to circle back about 13 and a half minutes in the conversation, because I have notes in my head. Because I want you to continue about how this is a great platform, and not but. When someone has a talent, I want to break out where they got that talent from. You have a talent of being able to see the big picture. So I want to know, is this something that you think is inherently born into you? Did you have a role? If I could, do you have a role model who modeled that for you in your life? Was it both? Was it neither? Where did this skill come from? Because I know there are people watching in my audience who are thinking, I'm not in real estate, but how can I apply this in my field? So where in the world, Lisa B, did you get this talent?
That's a really good question. And I don't know, is it nature or nurture? I mean, I've always been fascinated in business, always like studied business models. I read a book, it was called Benchmark, I think, I don't know, when I was probably 20 or something. And actually, this is probably what started it. And it was take a business model, say the business model of a real estate office, and then put something similar towards it, like kind of benchmark it together and think about how that is similar to that and how you could adopt things from that business into that business. So I went, okay, I think I did travel agent. So I went, okay, what does a travel agent do similar to what we do? So it was kind of, I've always been fascinated with the business model. So I guess to me, that's probably where some of that came in. I read a lot of James, is it James? No, what's his name? Abraham.
Jay Abraham.
Jay Abraham. I knew I didn't say it right. Jay
I have a
Abraham.
story about him too that I can't tell you on the air.
Oh, really? But I love the business. I love talking about business and business models. That fascinates me. It's like, oh, how does that work? And that's why I love EXP, because the business model is just so, you can just go, wow, it's just, I don't know whether I'm OCD or whatever I am, but, I just love it because I can go huge, like I can go global instead of
How
just.
long did it take you so you have this ability to think big and you're fascinated by business models, and I need to get better at learning about that. So you got to repeat the name of that book at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
It being able to think big and to see relationships where other people don't see them, and to think globally rather than in a small chunk, and being able to model someone's talent, because you looked at this book and you saw this ability to think in terms of business systems, etc. That's actually what NLP is about. It's about modeling talent, modeling skills, modeling capability. So I wonder if somewhere in your development that NLP training didn't play a role, either consciously, you saw what Tony was doing, or the unconscious level, he installed it in your head because he's really good at doing that.
Well, I am an NLP master practitioner. I have done that too. So I have done all that training as well, and kind of, I've read books and gone, okay, how do you adopt, or what's that person's model of the world? If I'm reading a biography, how does that person think? And like if you want to be something, then or you want to achieve a certain goal, then you've got to become that person to achieve that goal, don't you? You can't sit in your bed and achieve that goal. You're going to have to think like that person that's going to achieve that goal. You want to be a multimillionaire, you're going to have to start to dress like them, think like them, act like them. You know what I mean? So I guess I've kind of always thought about those things too. If I want to achieve that, then what do I have to do to get there? So I don't know. That's a great question. I really don't know.
I like to get curious about people. So
yeah.
what would you say is the top challenge, problem that your students, because you coach as well, correct?
Yes.
What do you think is the number one thing that gets in their way from seeing the big picture and from implementing what you teach? I'll tell you why I asked this question. I'm well linked into the coaching and trainer community. And the number one frustration I find that they have is their systems can be great and the people who implement just do wonderful. And my sense about you, Lisa, is first of all, you're very intellectual, you're very brilliant, but also you're service driven and impact minded. You're very, very much about making a difference in people's lives. So it probably hurts your heart when your clients and students don't implement.
Yeah.
You probably take it personally.
I'll give you, I used to years ago, but now I
Okay.
don't. Now I don't. It's like they either do it or they don't. I used to go, like,
No,
oh,
that's not what I meant. I meant, forgive me for interrupting. I'm being a
yeah,
little bit too interruptive. I didn't mean, I don't want to be misunderstood. I
yeah.
meant when they don't do it, it saddens you a little bit. You would really like to
Oh,
see
sorry.
everyone succeed.
Yes, of course, of course. But it used to upset me so much that I'd be like, oh my God, I want to help this person. I have to not get so attached. I'm still attached, but I can't think that it's my fault. You know what I mean? I've done everything that I can do. But I'll give you an example of a lady this morning, and it just made me so happy. She is one of our agents in EXP, and she's a go-getter. Like, she works hard. She's a workhorse, right? And she's got her kids that she's looking after, single mom, and she's just amazing, right? But she's not confident. She has been playing small and not confident. This morning she rang me. She sounded different, right? She goes, that's it. This other agent's going to do this. This other agent, I'm not playing small anymore. I'm not doing this. I'm like, yes, this is what I've been telling her. You know, you need to get out there. You need to, like, don't wait till you're confident. Just go do it, you know. And anyway, she has changed, you know, and sometimes it takes, you know, you get sick of being walked over, you know, and that was her this morning. It was like, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore, and I'm going to stand up for myself. And I find that's what a lot of agents don't do. They don't stand up for themselves. You know, it's like if another agent's coming in, or even with the vendors, you know, they're telling them what they should be doing. You know, it's like, oh no, I won't tell them that their house stinks of cat urine because they might get upset. The house isn't going to sell. If you don't tell them, it's not going to sell. You know, so they're kind of not confident enough to say things. And I think that, you know, they doubt their own ability, you know, so much. And I mean, you know, you've got it. They're scared of success. They're scared of failure.
What does that mean? I understand being scared of failure. What does scared of success mean to you?
Well, some of them are like, well, if this works, then I'll have to keep doing it. You know, like then I won't get a holiday. Then I won't, you know, then I'll be the breadwinner. Then, you know, all of that sort of thing. You know, then I'm responsible for this for forever. You know what I mean? Um,
Kind
so
of a
I
kernel of truth in that fear.
Yes, exactly. But I want to say another story. A
Sure.
real estate agent that contacted me about EXP, and he hasn't joined us yet. And I'm still talking to him about this vision that I have, and whether or not he's got it. I think he's starting to get it. But anyway, he won an amazing contract with a developer who's got property all over the world, right? And a huge player. So he won in his local area, all the properties that come up for sale, he gets them, right? So, and like I said, international company. So I said to him, okay, think about this. If you've got your demographic location, that's amazing. That is fantastic. You've got every listing that's coming in. Okay, why don't we think statewide, right? Why don't we think about getting people that come into EXP that join your team? Then you get a small commission from all of those people that you join, right? You're building the leverage of the people that you can take back to the company and say, I've now got 20 people, I've now got 30 people, or whatever. You've got the listings, you know, that we're going to attract the agents, and you've got the agents that are going to attract the listings. Do you know what I mean? So it's like leveraging both to be able to do that. So then why stop at the state, go to another state, you've got the whole of Australia. Why stop there? You've got the whole of the world. You know, these companies are in India, they're in America, they're in, you know, all over. And it's huge, you know. So it's like you can build an empire by, you know, by just you know, going to that company and getting the agents, getting the listings, and you know that's the way my brain thinks. So it's like, this is why EXP is so great for me, because I get a bit bored. You know, it's sort of like it's like if I'm only dealing on one little thing, and EXP, it's like there's so many things that you can do. And
I understand you're excited about this platform, and I love the way you're putting it forth where it's exciting and interesting to people. And not but I want to bring it back to Lisa B, the
Yes.
human being. I know this is part of who you are.
Yes.
What you do is part of who you are, and a precious part. I get it. I want to push it back, circle it back to your coaching clients, and again talk to you about, you mentioned some of them are afraid of success. And so how do you allay those fears? They're coming to you with these fears. How do you move them from fear into power? Because that's one of the things that Tony talks about still to this day. He's been at 40 years.
Power, absolutely. That was the conversation I had with this lady this morning, and I actually sent her a card that had the word power on it, and the definition of power. To me, it's always, I've got to believe in them more than they believe in themselves, which I do. You know, one of our agents, he joined, well, he wasn't going to join EXP. He was one of my coaching clients. And he said, oh, look, you know what? I don't think I can do this. I've been to every single brand. It's not going to work. I'm just going to go and drive Uber. And I said, look, just give us one more go. Like, just join us, and then let's have fun together. Let's do this together. And so he joined, and now he's just absolutely flown high. And I think it's because I believed in him more than he believed in himself. He sold a property for $19.5 million. He's just gone amazing.
And that is what a excellent trainer, coach, teacher does.
Yeah.
They assist in transformation by lending their confidence to the person who doesn't yet believe in themselves. That's what creates the transformation. I'm not knocking your technical skills, but it's your belief in that person, your confidence in that person is transmitted because you have an open heart and a sharp mind. I want to give you credit for something. You already know you're brilliant at what you do, but as good at EXP, I know about that platform. As I said, I gave a talk to one of their zillion offices here in San Diego. And if you didn't have that capability to transfer your confidence to your coaching clients, no matter how good the platform, no matter how excellent, they would not be able to take full advantage of it. So that skill of yours is a very precious skill. And I think when you combine that precious skill with the excellence of the platform, you've got a winning combination. Please don't write yourself out of it.
Yeah, but that's actually, that being curious is good, and that does make me think, how can I get other people to see the big picture? And that's why I like talking about it, because hopefully that inspires people to say, even if it's just a business model I put out there and somebody listens to it and goes, oh, okay, now I get it. You know what I mean? Like if they don't have that capability of thinking big. If I can just, and this is why I want to talk about it, because it's not only our platform, there's other platforms, plenty in America that are similar to ours, so it doesn't have to be ours. But if I can get people to just look at different business models, and that helps them to go, okay, I can go from one house to one location, one demographic location to a state to a country to whatever, and they can build an empire. Or they just think a little bit bigger. Maybe it's just going into a different niche, like, or you say niche, like luxury property or something like that they can think, oh, okay, I can do that. So it's just kind of opening up people's minds is what I like to do about business.
I get it. We are actually, wow, this flew by. We're at the end of our time. Lisa, thank you. You've dropped some serious value here. I would like to speak on behalf of my audience and say thank you, number one. But second, I know my audience wants to stay in the conversation with you. How do they stay in the conversation with you? And if they're interested in your coaching and or exploring joining EXP, what's the best way for them to stay in touch with you?
Okay, well, either lisab.com.au is my website, or I've got a Facebook group called Let's Talk About Real Estate, and that's there's agents all over the world in there. So it's a platform where I like to have a voice, and I like that agents can have a voice. So whether it's, if they want to ask an anonymous question about what would you do in this situation, I've got a home seller that's doing this, or a buyer that's doing this, or whether it's I'm just feeling down, what advice would you give me, or I'm new to real estate, things like that. So that's Let's Talk About Real Estate, which is, I love it. It's a great group. There's about 5,000 agents in there.
People need connection and community, and it's wonderful that you're providing it. Stay on the air with me. Stay with me on the call because I love to chat with you off the air. Okay. Thank you, Lisa B., for being our guest on the Influencer's Edge. We will see you guys on the next episode, and we'll catch you later. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
The Influencer's Edge is brought to you by the Rapid Sales Accelerator. If you're ready to skyrocket your sales by 30% or more in just 90 days, then you need to claim your free training right now. You'll learn 4 words that will compel your prospects to trust you like they were children within the first 3 to 5 minutes of any conversation across any platform and any medium. You'll learn how to give your prospects objection amnesia, to crush objections like, I need to talk to my spouse, or I need more time to think it over, or it's too expensive. If you'd like to claim your free training now, go to www.paulrossbook.com. Do it before your competition does it now. Thank you for tuning in to the Influencer's Edge, where you get the latest breakthroughs, cutting-edge insights, tools, and techniques so you can leapfrog over the pack in sales, influence, and persuasion. Remember to visit our website at www.theinfluencersedge.com to enjoy even more great episodes like this one. We look forward to seeing you again on the Influencer's Edge Show.